Hey there everyone, welcome back to a brand new episode of the Switch Report. Today I'm coming at you with a pretty simple little video. So throughout a month I pick up a lot of games, and over the past few days I've actually just been stacking up all the games that I've picked up over the past 2 to 3 weeks, and I figured I'd go over them with you guys and just go ahead and stack them up right here. You can get an idea of all the pickups that I've done within the past 2 to 3 weeks. So, some of this is just totally filler, and some of it's games that I'm actually interested in playing, and I'll go over which games are which, and some of these are actually just really cool items that relate to the Switch that I happen to pick up or come across. So, with that being said, guys, we're going to go ahead and hop into this pickups video, and this is over 50 games that I've picked up. So let's hop right in, and the first 2 games are actually totally filler games. I'm trying to get a complete Wii U collection, and I picked up both LEGO Dimensions and Skyliners Trap Team. So I don't really plan on playing either of these. I've played LEGO Dimensions before. I've never played Skyliners, so I don't even know if I'd be into it. Probably not. I don't tend to like the Toys to Life games. The last Toys to Life game that I actually kind of liked, but I still played all digital, was Starlink, and that was pretty fun, but I only bought that because on the Switch it came with the R-Wing, and I thought that was pretty awesome. So I picked up those 2, and I'm going to go ahead and set those right back here. I'm just going to start stacking everything right there. But I picked up those 2 just as some filler because I want a complete Wii U collection, even if some of them happen to be like Barbie games, what's that one, like the Monster High, stuff like that. I still need those just to complete the collection. So after that, I picked up Devil May Cry 5, and this game is absolutely amazing. I know it's not a Switch game and doesn't even have to do with Nintendo, but I really love this game, and these are just games that I've picked up. They don't have to be Switch games. I really love this game, guys. If you haven't tried it and you like hack and slash games, this is amazing. And even if you haven't played a Devil May Cry game before, you will get a lot of, I would say, extra emotional impact and stuff like that from things that are shown inside of this game. But if you're new to the Devil May Cry series, you can hop into this game and still have a really, really good time. It is still a super fun and really great game. Fantastic graphics. It's actually done inside of the RE engine, the same engine that Resident Evil 2 Remake and Resident Evil 7 were made in. And it really shows. It is amazing here, and it's really different because you see this game being more bright than either of the past Resident Evil games. So it's really cool. There's some great voice acting, amazing animation, and if you want, go ahead and get the deluxe edition, because I didn't get the deluxe physical edition, but I did get the deluxe digital edition, and it came with some really cool features like these pre-visualization cutscenes that are just hilarious, and they're a lot of fun, guys. So I picked this up. This game is really, really fun. Next game that I did pick up, and this may have been a little more than 3 weeks, so I may be a little cheating here. It's Kingdom Hearts 3, and I actually picked up the deluxe edition, but the actual box for that is inside of my shelf over there. And this game I already beat. I think it's a really good game. It's a great Kingdom Hearts game, absolutely gorgeous. In most of the world, some of the worlds look a little weird, but the story I'm not a huge fan of in this game, guys. Honestly, it seems to just retread, kind of like a Rechain of Memories and stuff like that. Kind of like he just lost his memories, and now you're going back through these worlds and refiguring out all the adventures that Sora's gone through. But still a really fun game. It closes out the Xehanort saga for the Kingdom Hearts series, and it's a lot of fun. If you enjoy Kingdom Hearts, I mean, you'll definitely still love this game. And on the note of Devil May Cry 5, I also have Resident Evil 2. I know this is a little later, definitely a little later than a month, but I really, really love this game, and it's a game that I've been enjoying a lot, and I still find myself going back and playing like the Hunk and Tofu sections of this game, and just doing different like reruns of the game, trying to just complete more, see if I can find anything else inside of the game. This game is awesome, guys. This is probably what I would consider the new benchmark for remakes. This game is amazing. It looks fantastic. There's amazing facial animation in this as well as in Devil May Cry 5. And it is, oh God, guys, it is just phenomenal. And also it has this pretty cool, just reversible art cover in case you're a Leon fan and not a Claire fan. I like both of them, but I really like the cover with Claire on it, so I went with that. Alright, so the next one is a Switch game, and it is Cube 2 for the Nintendo Switch. Now, this came out digitally way earlier, but I just recently received my copy of Cube 2, and this is a cool, almost Portal-esque puzzler, first-person puzzler. It's really fun, got some good narration. I don't open my copy of the super rare games, I just purchased the game digitally, just because I really want to have all the super rare games as a physical collection, because it's really nice that all the games actually have a number right there. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it actually has a number on the spine there. That's pretty cool. And I just really like this game. This game is really a lot of fun. It does have some optimization issues, unfortunately, but if you can get past that, it's a lot of fun. Alright, and the next game I actually picked up about 3 days ago now. It is Fallen Legion: Rise to Glory. This is a RPG I've actually not played yet. It's kind of a turn-based strategy RPG, and it's actually 2 full games. Which is really cool. It's made by a very small development team. It's published by NIS America. And it's a really cool looking game. I want to get to try it, but I have so many games that I need to get through playing and that I am working on reviews for right now. So it's probably going to be a little bit. If I enjoy this game enough, guys, I will update you and I'll probably make a review on this game, because I haven't heard a lot of people talking about this. So that was a really cool pickup, and I picked this up at GameStop for clearance at like $18. So, I mean, really good, cheap purchase. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and go to... there's a little adhesive on the back of that guy. So I purchased Turning Point Fall of Liberty. I picked this up at 2nd and Charles. Honestly, generally not a place that I go to purchase games. They tend to be pretty overpriced on a good portion of their games, and they always put this long strip of tape across the sides that always leaves this nasty residue. So I have to go on with some Goo Gone and get that all wiped off. But Turning Point Fall of Liberty, it's just supposed to be a shooter where you actually experience a Axis army battle in the middle of New York, and it looks pretty fun to me. It doesn't have the greatest reviews, but I'm working on a new series that actually has to deal with older games and if they're good or not. But I figured I would check this game out, and if it's not my cup of tea, then you guys will never hear about it again. Or if I think it's good and an underrated gem, expect an episode of a brand new series coming up for this. So my memory card is about full. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna have to delete some video files off of there real quick, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so I went ahead and cleared off some memory on my camera, and we're back with some loveliness. So we're gonna go ahead and hop right into the next game. This is another PS3 game. I picked up a lot of PS3 games this month because they're ones that, some of them are ones that I just haven't played before, and I think they could be interesting. Again, these are all for new series that I'm working on. So bear with me if you're not a fan of PS3 games. I will be switching it up. So we have Beowulf, the game. So this is supposed to be like a kind of, it's a movie tie-in game, but it's a hack and slash. And some of the companies that made it, I've actually never heard of the games that they've made. So I went ahead and picked this up because it was really cheap. It was like $2. And again, it was at 2nd and Charles. Not a place that I generally go to shop for games. I don't know if a lot of you know, but I actually do work at a retro game store, and I find them a lot better than this place, but I don't see some of these games come in too often, so I just go ahead and pick them up. Alright, so another cool thing, it's not actually a new game pickup that I did, but it's actually a cool autograph that I got this month. and that is at the SC Comic-Con here in Greenville. I actually got Charles Martinet to sign a couple of things for me. Now, I'm not going to show you all the things that I got him to sign for me just yet. I'm going to just go through them as I get to them because they are in the stack here. But it is a steelbook of Mario Kart that I had him sign, and it's really cool. He does the little wahoo right there, and then he draws like a little mustachio person right there, and it's really cool. I really like this steelbook, and I thought it would be neat just to get him to sign some Mario stuff. I didn't want him to sign all Mario stuff, so I had him sign something a little more unique, which you'll see here shortly. And I also picked up a limited run game this month that was Dust, an Elysian Tale. If you've never played this game is really cool. It has a deep emphasis on combat, and it's got some cool narration. It's made by Humble Hearts, and they also have another Switch game called Never Stop Sneakin', which I'd love to see a physical release of, by the way. If they did, I would 100% get that. I absolutely love the gameplay that Humble Hearts does, and Never Stop Sneaking has some awesome Metal Gear Solid PS1 style graphics that are super smooth and just really quick stealth gameplay. It's a lot of fun. But if you never checked out this game is really cool. I have not opened it. I don't open a lot of my limited run games, but these are really cool releases because they're indie games, and if it's an indie game that I really like, I'm gonna purchase that limited run game. So next game that I picked up was another PS3 game. It is Black Site Area 51, and I actually picked this up at Second & Charles. Sometimes they put these little stickers on there if there's like an override price. And this is a shooter that is actually done by, I think it's Marilyn Manson actually, that did this game. And wow, actually I just realized this game has a significant amount of scratches on the back of that. Don't know if you guys can see that, but there are a decent few scratches on there. I will probably be going back to swap that out because I don't know if you guys know this, but Blu-rays are very sensitive, and like the tiniest scratch can make your game not play. I'm gonna be willing to bet this game doesn't play. So I may end up returning this or getting it swapped out, or if they don't have another copy, I may have it resurfaced at my work. That's unfortunate. But, hey, I mean, some of these games I haven't even gotten to check out yet. And I picked them up. These are all games that I picked up this week that are PS3 games. So, we're going to go ahead and jump right into the next PS3 game, and that is X-Blades. So in case you guys haven't heard of this game is infamous for being like a god-awful game. And I paid like $5 for, yeah, actually, it says it right there on the back. I paid $4.85 for that game, which is not terrible. I mean, it's nothing extraordinary. I've just never played this game. I saw gameplay of it a long time ago when my buddy actually had a JTAG'd Xbox, and he was just trying out some games that he could get for free. And man, this game I just hear is terrible, but I want to give it a try myself. I think it'd be a lot of fun. I think it's important to know what a bad game is to appreciate how good some of these masterpiece level games are. But yeah, that's another PS3 game that I picked up right there. So I'm gonna quickly switch over to another Switch game that I picked up this month, and that is Battle Chef Brigade Deluxe. So this is actually a game that's pretty interesting. It's a RPG puzzler cooking game. And so like the best description I can give for it. It looks like a lot of fun. I have actually not played this game yet, but I loved the art style to it. I bought it digitally and just never got around to trying it. And I really want to, and I will get around to trying it at some point. But yeah, this game looked like it would be a lot of fun, so I went ahead and picked this up because it is limited run. It's a number 19 on their roster, and this is actually the variant you can pick up at Best Buy. But yeah, so that's another one. I really want to get around to trying it, and I want to open up this case, but I don't know if I'm going to, honestly. But it does have some physical goodies inside that I can just see peeking in right there. But that looks like that could be a lot of fun. So moving on to a PS3 game, again, that is from Second & Charles, so it has this god-awful spine residue. is I picked up Unreal Tournament 3. So this is a game that probably no longer works online, or doesn't even have anybody online anymore. But I really like the Unreal Tournament games, and I'm sort of trying to get a mostly complete PS3 collection for no apparent reason. I just think that I'm definitely collecting a full RPG collection, but I find myself just picking up a lot of odd PS3 games now. So I guess technically I'm going for a sort of complete PS3 collection, which is pretty odd, but these games will be just as rare as some PS2 games in the future. But yeah, picked that up. It was $2, so why not? I really like the gameplay in these games. It's really fluid, just classic shooter, and there's nothing wrong with that. So pick that up. We're gonna move on to another Switch game that's actually, it's not a new pickup, but it is another thing that I had Charles Martinet sign. So this is the one that I said was a little more unique, and this is Skyrim for the Switch. A lot of people don't actually know that Charles Martinet actually voiced a dragon inside of Skyrim, and I can't remember the name of the dragon he voiced right now, but he did voice a dragon, and inside of here he actually wrote some of what the dragon states in the game, so that's really cool. I figured a lot of people would have him signing Mario stuff, so I figured why not try to just have him sign something a little different, and I thought that would be pretty cool. And apparently he didn't have anyone have him sign a Switch copy of Skyrim, so who knows how many signed copies of Skyrim for the Switch are out there for Charles Martinet. I just thought that would be pretty neat. So the next game that I picked up, which is actually a pretty interesting little PS3 game that I just had to pick up because I saw the developer and I remember seeing this game on commercials a long time ago, so I just wanted to check it out. And it was Mini Ninjas. So this is actually done by IO Interactive. A lot of you may kind of recognize that name, but not for games like this. It's actually the same people that do the Hitman series. And that's pretty interesting to me, honestly, because this just does not look like a big stealth game, honestly. It does look like a pretty goofy action platformer, and the reason that I actually picked this game up is it gives me a sort of a vibe of another game that I really loved. I don't know if you guys ever checked out a game called I, Ninja, but that was an awesome little game, and it reminds me a lot of this game, so I just had to pick this game up. So, we're going to move on to another Switch game that is actually exclusive to Best Buy, and I had to pick it up because I love both of these games, and I don't think either of these games get the love that they deserve. And so I just had to pick it up because this is a really cool compilation, and that is Child of Light Ultimate Edition and Valiant Hearts Dual Pack for the Nintendo Switch. This is really cool. So if you never played either of these games, they both come on a single cart. And again, this is exclusive to Best Buy, so I would go ahead and pick this up while you can, because this is probably going to be one of those ones that not a lot of people pick up, and it's really unique. Both of these games are absolutely amazing. Child of Light being kind of an RPG that has this gorgeous art style. It's made inside of the UbiArt framework engine, which is the same engine that they use to make games like Rayman Legends. And it's really cool. It's absolutely gorgeous. You play as a little girl, and you have this itty-bitty soul that kind of follows you around. And it's been a long time since I've played the game, so I can't go in depth about the story. I want to check it out again, especially on the Switch, because I absolutely loved this game. But also, Valiant Hearts is a fantastic story-based game that kind of puts you in the shoes of different war veterans, and it's all these unsung heroes that are throughout these wars. Like, you get to play as a female medic, and you play as different people in parts of the war, and it is really cool. It gets into some dark subject matter, but it's got a gorgeous art style, amazing dialogue, and it is amazing. It's absolutely gorgeous. It runs beautifully, great animation, just like Child of Light. A different style of animation where Valiant Hearts looks more like it looks like a old school comic book panel, where opposed to Dying Light, Child of Light, looking like a pastel painting. And it's absolutely stunning, guys. If you haven't checked out either of these games, this is actually a steal for the price. I think it's $39.99 at Best Buy for both games, and that comes with all the DLC that was ever released for these games, and that is amazing. Definitely check this game out if you haven't checked either of these out, or if you just want to pick up a unique physical game for the Switch. Alright, so another Switch game that I picked up is Roller Coaster Tycoon Adventures. So this is a game that honestly I hear is kind of mediocre. It's kind of just a bare bones port of some other sections of past Roller Coaster Tycoon games, but I really enjoy Roller Coaster Tycoon even if this is bare bones. I think I could get some fun out of it, and it's a game that I haven't seen very often, so I just had to pick it up off of Amazon. I think it's $50. But it's definitely worth it. I wanted to pick this game up really, really bad, so I just went ahead and did it. I think it'll be a lot of fun. It's not one that I would suggest you probably pick up, especially with the reviews. Some of them say it's absolutely terrible. Some of them say it's okay. It's got about a 60, I believe, on Metacritic. But yeah, that's one that I had to pick up just because I really like the past Roller Coaster Tycoon games. So another PS3 game that I picked up, this one is sealed. I actually picked up from Second & Charles. It says $59.99 right there. I did not pay that. I believe I actually paid $15 for this. It's sealed. It's Deception 4 Blood Ties. And if you guys have never played this game or anything in the series, they're very interesting games. They're like strategy horror RPGs. And it's really cool. It's a lot of fun to play. And it's part of what's called Tecmo's Deception series. They were from the PS1, and I believe there was one on the PS2. I may be wrong about that, but I know for a fact there were at least 2 on the PS1. But yeah, I saw this. I just had to get it. Again, I'm definitely collecting all the RPGs for PS3, and this is one that I don't see very often, so I had to pick it up. Another PS3 game that I picked up was Natural Doctrine. This one is also sealed, and I paid $8 for this. And I have not seen this game for $8 even used. So I just had to pick this game up because I thought that was an excellent price. I have not read anything about this. At the store that I work at, the Video Game Cavern, we actually have the collector's edition for this for the PS4. And I've been looking at it because it looks like an interesting game. I haven't even looked up reviews for it, honestly. But I figured I would go ahead and pick it up for $8. It could be a really solid game. I mean, even if it is on the PS3 and not the PS4, there's probably not a huge difference, mainly maybe in performance and in textures. That doesn't bother me a whole lot, especially when it's a turn-based game. Lower frame rate's not going to bother me. But yeah, I picked those 2 up. I think those are the only 2 sealed PS3 games that I've picked up. But those are really cool. I had to. I mean, it's so cheap for a brand new sealed PS3 game. So the next game that I picked up, which is actually it's a double pickup. I picked up 2 copies of this game. One was more than a month ago because this actually was released more than a month ago, but I just had to pick it up because I got the opportunity to purchase a second copy, and I just wanted to get it because it's been a very quick sellout for super rare games, and that is Steriden. It's still actually in the bubble wrap that they sent it to me in. I actually received this probably 2 days ago, and this is a cool shoot 'em up, guys. It's really, really brutal. It's I would say kind of in the vein of something like R-Type meets maybe if you ever played the shooter Truxton on the Genesis. It's very, very challenging, but it's a lot of fun, and it has a pretty neat little art style. It's nothing super special, but it's these really clean, higher than 16-bit, but it's kind of a pixel art style. And it's really cool. It runs really well, obviously, and it's just a really cool little game that I just needed to pick up because who knows when I'll get another chance to pick this up. That's not a ridiculous price. So, the next PS3 game that I picked up was Untold Legends Dark Kingdom. Now this is a game that I paid $5 for at Second and Charles. It's a RPG. It actually looks like it's probably more of an online co-op RPG. I'm sure it has some single player elements because it doesn't say online only. But I just had to pick this game up because it's an RPG and I haven't seen it before. It doesn't look very good, honestly. I have played some of the Untold Legends games from the PSP, and those were a lot of fun, but this does not look very good, I'll be honest. But it could be a lot of fun. I won't judge a book by its cover until I actually play it. So I had to pick that game up because it was really cheap. But the other PS3 game I picked up, that is a fighting game that is pretty interesting, and I guess I'm kind of picking up fighters too. Like all these anime looking games I'm picking up because I feel like some of these will be really hard to get in the future, and I just want to have a really cool fleshed out PS3 collection. I want to have a fleshed out collection for every system, let's get that straight. But so some systems that's not financially possible on. But PS3 games are absolutely dirt cheap right now, so why not go ahead and hop on it while it's really, really cheap, and you can pick up a ton of these games for just dirt cheap. You can take $100 and walk out with like 30 or 40 PS3 games. So I picked up Under Night In Birth. This is a fighter that's actually by Axis. It's published by Axis and then developed by Arc System Works, and it looks really cool. It's a 2D action fighter. I have not played it. Pretty much none of these games I've played. Well, if I have played them, I'll let you know. Some of them I have. There's just ones that I had to re-pick up because I've gotten rid of them in the past. But this game is really cool looking, and I paid $8 for it. It's probably one of the more expensive PS3 games I picked up, but the fact that it looks as cool as it does, I have no problem paying that for it. So I hopefully that's a pretty cool fighter. Arc System Works makes some really, really cool games. I mean, Dragon Ball FighterZ is an awesome fighter. So the next PS3 game that I picked up, I know I picked up a lot of PS3 games, guys, but like I said, I'm trying to get a complete collection. I picked up Full Auto 2 Battle Lines. So this is an interesting little game. It's a Sega car game where you actually have vehicles that have weapons attached to them, and you're like a cop that goes around the city like an undercover cop, and it's pretty cool looking anyway. I've never played it, but it looks like it has plenty of destruction, and considering it's a fairly early PS3 game, it looks pretty graphically impressive, honestly. So I'm pretty excited to give this game a try. Again, I am working on some series that's based around good and bad games, and so I would love to put this in there if it's any good. Alright, so another Switch game that I picked up is Caligula Effect Overdose. So this is supposed to kind of be a Persona-esque RPG. I have not played it yet, it is still sealed, but I figured it would be a lot of fun to check out. I will get around to checking it out once I'm done with the current RPG that I'm playing. I try to play like one at a time, and there's a lot of RPGs that I need to check out. But that looks like it could be a lot of fun, and I just figured I'd pick it up. It's pretty hard to get almost everywhere, it looks like. I know it's been sold out at Best Buy and GameStop, and even Amazon's run out a couple of times already. So I figured I would go ahead and pick this game up while I could, because it does seem like one of those games that may have a lower print than usual. So I just figured I'd check it out. On the back of the box it says, "A rebellion stirs in the false paradise of Mobius. Gather your fellow students, rise up against you, and return to the real world." It looks pretty cool. I really, really dig the artwork on the front of that box. I mean, that is some really nice artwork. So, just had to pick that game up. It is a Switch game, and I am going for a complete Switch game collection. US releases, I'm not going to delve really far into the import games. Some import games I am going to get. Don't get me wrong. Like, I just ordered Dead or Alive Extreme Volleyball 3, I think that's what it's called. Dead or Alive Extreme 3 Scarlet Edition for the Switch. because that is going to be one that I think is going to be a little interesting. So I also picked up another PS3 game that's called Demon's Souls. So in case you guys haven't played this game, this is actually the very first Souls game, and it's really cool. It's extremely brutal, and I like the Souls games, and I'm super excited for Sekiro. That's in 2 days from the filming of this video, so I'm really hyped for that. But this game looked really cool. It was only like $6, so I had to get this game because it has started to go up in value a little bit as far as PS3 games go, and I just wanted to get it just because I'll never beat it. I'm terrible at Souls games, but I enjoy playing them, and sometimes I just like a little bit of punishment. So I picked that game up. And another PS3 game that I picked up that I will be covering very soon is Bionic Commando. So this is actually done by Grin Studios. That they do a few different games that were, I will say, met with harsh criticism back in the day, but not necessarily bad games. Like this game, I do not believe is bad. I have played it numerous times, and I am playing through it again right now to do a comprehensive comparison for a new series that I'm working on. And it's really cool. It was really ahead of its time with the swinging mechanics going around this fairly large city, and I really like some of the combat in it. It did have an interesting protagonist. I will say that they made the main character fairly edgy, and it's pretty odd, but it's still a really fun game, and I'm enjoying it quite a bit. So I had to pick that up. That was like $2. I mean, that's dirt cheap. I needed to get that. Alright, so another game that I picked up that's actually also developed by the same people that made Bionic Commando is Wanted: Weapons of Fate. So I had to pick this game up just because I loved the movie Wanted a long time ago. It's not a great movie, honestly, but it's fun. It's like a good popcorn flick. And I wanted to pick this game up because I've never played it. It could be good, could be terrible. Most likely it's probably not very good. Most movie tie-in games aren't, but there are some good ones out there. And I wanted to check this out. I really like Max Payne games, so I imagine it'll play a good bit like a Max Payne game, saying that it says curved bullets, quick chain cover, and master killer assassin moves. I assume it'll probably implement some sort of bullet time effect inside of here, which could be really fun. Who knows? Depends on how it's implemented. But just had to pick that game up. Again, really dirt cheap game. That one was $2.99, so $3. Well worth it if I can get even a couple hours of fun out of it. So another PS3 game that I picked up, this time it is an actual RPG, is the Disgaea Triple Play Collection. So I picked this up at my work when a guy brought this in. I thought this was really cool. I really like the Disgaea games. I love tactical RPGs like Fire Emblem and Final Fantasy Tactics. These games are a lot of fun. For me, anyway. They're not everyone's cup of tea. This game contains 3 games inside of it. It contains a Disgaea 3, 4, and Disgaea D2. And I thought it was really cool, and I just had to pick it up. It looked like a lot of fun. And I have been playing the Disgaea games on the Switch, and those are a lot of fun, even if they are a little daunting to get into because they have a massive amount of content. So I just had to pick that game up. Again, it is an RPG. Why not? So the next game is a PS2 game, and this is a game that I will be covering also very soon. And this game is a lot of fun. I really enjoy this game. It's made by Treasure, and that is Stretch Panic. So again, this is made by Treasure. If you're not familiar with them, they make awesome games. And they made one of my favorite N64 games called Mischief Makers, and they made an amazing shoot 'em up on the GameCube and Dreamcast called Ikaruga, which is an amazing little shooter. And it came in the store, it was complete, and I just had to pick it up. Let's see how much I paid for this game. I paid $12.85 for this game. So I mean, it's a little higher, but I mean, that's not bad at all for this game. I really wanted this game really bad as soon as I saw it come in, and that it was in just absolutely pretty much immaculate, perfect condition. I just had to get it. It looked amazing, and I've been really enjoying playing this game again. It's been a real treat getting to go back to that. So the next game that I picked up was Dragon Age Origins. Now this is for the PS3. I picked this game up for, I don't know, because it looks like I kind of peeled part of the sticker off. Something in 85 cents, so it clearly came from my work. But this is a pretty fun early BioWare RPG. I say early, it's not early, but compared to how long they've been around. But it is a early PS3 RPG, and this game, the Dragon Age games are a lot of fun. The only one that I don't really care for is 2, which I don't own now that I think about it, and I should. But this game is a lot of fun. It comes with all the DLC because it's the Ultimate Edition, and why not? It looks really cool, and I mean, it was really cheap. I think it was like $3 or something like that. It may have been like $6. I don't know. Who knows? But I picked it up. So the next game that I picked up was Gravity Rush. I paid $10 for this game, and this is a really cool game that I have not played yet. I've played the first one, and I've heard really good things about the second one, and I have just not played it. Oh, I hit the camera. I have not played it yet, and I really want to get around to checking it out, but again, I'm going to focus on a lot of the Switch games that I have to get through currently. But I do want to get to this game eventually. I play a lot of my PS4 games through remote play, and being that this was originally a Vita game, I imagine that it works with a remote play really well. So I picked that game up. It was really cheap, and I really love the art style. Next game that I picked up is actually a Wii game, and this is Sakura Wars So Long My Love. Honestly, I've never played this one. I know it's on PS2, and I have seen it before. I know it's an RPG, but it looked like it could be a lot of fun, and I just generally love RPGs. So I had to pick it up. It looks pretty cool. It wasn't very expensive. It was $15. So I figured, why not? That's cheaper than the PS2 version, significantly. I think the PS2 version is roughly like $30 or $40. But I just wanted to pick this game up because it looked like a lot of fun. So there's that. I don't play my Wii very much, but I am making a complete Wii U collection, so owning some Wii games is not going to be an issue at all. The next game that I picked up is actually for the 360, and that's called Never Dead. And it's really funny, honestly. This happens a lot in just used game trading and stuff like that. But I actually sold this to my work for some trade credit, and then I realized that I wanted this game back because I haven't seen it very much, and I'm going to pick it up on the PS3 if I can find it. But this is a game that honestly, I have not heard very good things about. I enjoy it though, and I think it could be pretty underrated, honestly. I think if more people played it, they would enjoy it. You play as a guy that's kind of a detective, and he's immortal. He can like take his head off of his body, and he rolls around and he can lay these bombs down, kind of like when Samus inside of Metroid goes in a morph ball and can lay down those bombs. It's very akin to that, but as far as gameplay goes, it's very much a shoot 'em up, hack and slash. I would say more of a stylish third-person shooter, but it's pretty fun. I enjoy it. It's very edgy. It's like DMC Devil May Cry edgy. It's a lot of fun though. I think it's a lot of fun, and I'm just gonna go back to it eventually, and I may cover this in a future video. So I had to pick that up, and I repurchased it from my work. The next game I picked up was another PS3 game, and that is Stuntman Ignition. If you never played these games, they're a lot of fun. They're just really brutal stunt-based driving games. There's not much more to them than that. They can just get really hard, and they have really cool spectacle to them. You play literally a stunt driver on a film set, and you just play these absolutely ludicrous movie film sequences. Just had to pick that game up. It was only $3, so why not? So, next game that I picked up is another PS3 game, but bear with me. This game is phenomenal. And this is the same people that made another PS3 game that I'll be talking about shortly, and that is Enslaved Odyssey to the West. If you guys have not checked out this game, check this game out. This game was actually noted by the Guinness Book of World Records as like one of last generation's like top gems. And this game is super, I guess at this point not criminally underrated, but I still think it's underrated. I don't hear nearly enough people mention this game. I think it's a lot of fun. It has a really cool story, fantastic facial animation. I mean, these guys are like pioneers in next-gen facial animation. Their last game, Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, was absolutely amazing. And I just had to check it out. Let me mute that. But the last game they made was just absolutely amazing, and I had to check it out. Alright, so the next game I picked up is a Switch game, and that is Windjammers. So this game is really weird, and it's an older game. It's a re-release, but it is a limited run game, and this is the Best Buy variant that I picked up. And it's really cool game. It's a lot of fun. It's really cheap. This is a $30 release, and if you really like a punch your friend in the face, frustrating fighting game, give it a shot. It's pretty fun. It is a mix of, I would say, like dodgeball meets tennis meets frisbee, and you can like do all these crazy moves with the frisbee that you're throwing and like spin it, bounce it off the corners of the walls, and I guess it's also a mixture of Pong, which in itself is tennis, but yeah, it's just a lot of fun. It has some different mini games that you can play, like 2 unlockable mini games, dog distance and bowling, which is pretty neat. Haven't played that. Mainly just played the base game because that's a lot of fun. But yeah, it's pretty cool, and if you enjoy just a very simple, I believe this was a Neo Geo game, you should definitely check this game out, guys. It is a lot of fun, and they're coming out with a sequel this year, so it'll be cool to be able to play the original that was released on arcade machines, and then just go ahead and play the sequel this year. So that is another Switch game that I picked up. We're going to dive into another Switch game that I actually picked up today, like literally just before filming this. I went by a place called Bargain Hunt, and they had a Switch game that I don't have. So I went over and picked up Hotel Transylvania 3. I left a sticker on there just to show you guys that I paid $18 for it. Not bad. It's cheaper than like GameStop and all that. So I just figured I would go ahead and pick this game up. It was dirt cheap, and it looks like it could be okay. It's probably pretty bad. Honestly, a lot of the games that I've seen from this developer, Outright Games, I've heard are not very good. I mean, the other Outright game was, I think they made the Adventure Time game that was like akin to Wind Waker that was on the Switch that I heard was just awful. Like apparently it crashed left and right. But yeah, I just had to pick it up because it is a Switch game that I don't have. So I went ahead and picked that game up. And the next game I picked up is another PS3 game. This is a game that's from the same developers as Enslaved. It is Heavenly Sword. That is a really, really cool hack and slash game. It doesn't get very deep as far as mechanics go. It's an early PS3 game, but this game was actually at the time allotted for its facial animations, which are very impressive. And I believe, yeah, it actually says they have motion capture actor Andy Serkis working on this. You may know him from things like Planet of the Apes. And this is a really cool game. I absolutely love this game, and I thought it was really cool. Even if the combat is fairly simplistic, it can be a lot of fun. So I had to pick this game up. I actually picked this game up last night. Next game that I picked up for the PS3 was Lost Planet Extreme Condition. So if you never played this game, it's kind of just a basic shooter for the PS3. It's very early. It's by Capcom. It's kind of Monster Hunter meets third-person action shooter. And it can be a lot of fun. It had some really cool multiplayer at the time. I've never actually tried the single player to the first one. I've played the part of the second one, and I've beaten the third game. And the third game is one that I think is an underrated gem, and I will be talking about that a little later in a future video. But this game seemed like it could be fun to go back to. We shall see. I've heard some people say that it has very, very janky controls, like compared to games that released now. I hear that the controls just did not hold up very well, which can be said about a lot of like PS3 and 360 games, just like Assassin's Creed. First Assassin's Creed, just, oh god. I recently went back and tried to play that. That is a rough parkour system. So, the next game that I picked up, that is not actually a game that I picked up, it's a game I already had, but I had it signed at the Comic-Con as well, and this is the last game that I had signed, was Super Mario Odyssey. I mean, not really a surprise. I think this game is amazing. I actually enjoy this game more than Mario 64, which is kind of a damning thing to say for a lot of people. Don't get me wrong, I think Mario 64 is a class action masterpiece, but I think that this game is just amazing, and I find myself going back to this constantly, just like I do Breath of the Wild, and playing this game for hours just to have some fun with it. And on this copy, he just did the standard signature and then did the whole Wahoo thing, and I thought it was really cool. I was glad that he signed it, and I mean, it's a lot of fun. So that was another game that I had signed that I almost just body slammed into the floor. And the next game that I picked up on PS3 is Starhawk. This is a game, honestly, I probably won't be able to play online. If I remember right, the servers got shut down, but I just wanted to pick it up because it was like 85 cents, and it is a shooter that was also done by a company that made another game that I really enjoyed. It was done by Santa Monica Studios, and they had Warhawk on the PS3, and this game actually includes the PS1 classic version of Warhawk. So I figured, why not? It does say that it has a single-player campaign. If I remember right, I remember when this game came out. I actually purchased it when it came out, but I got rid of this game just because I didn't play the PS3 very often, which is kind of why I'm going back and playing some of it now. If I remember right, the story consisted of basically a tutorial. We shall see at some point. And so I just figured I'd pick it up. It was dirt cheap, why not? Next game is a game that gets beat up a lot, and I personally really enjoy. It's a game that I don't think is nearly as bad as everyone says it is, and that is Thief. So this game I paid $3 for, and Thief is it's technically, I think, the 4th or 5th game in the series. It's kind of a soft reboot of the series, and it kind of murdered the series, honestly, as far as sales go. It did not do very good. But I thought it was a lot of fun. You can play the whole game without ever killing a single person, and I actually did that when this game came out. I played through this entire game using just like knockout arrows, and I thought it was super, super cool, and it was really interesting, the fact that you could choose your approach, and depending on whether you went along just murdering people or did fully silent, you had different endings based on that, and I just thought that was really neat. I enjoyed the game. I will probably be playing this game again to see how it's aged, and I may be covering this in a future episode of that same series that I've been hinting at. So, I mean, as you can see, my mic is now getting covered up by all these games. I've picked up a lot of games this month, guys, and we're not done yet. We're getting there, but we're not done yet. The next game that I picked up was a combo pack, and it was actually because I wanted one game that was in this combo pack, and it's for the GameCube. It is called, it's the double pack with Outlaw Golf and Darkened Sky. Sky as in S-K-Y-E. It says $12 up there. I actually paid $8 for this online, and I have another copy of this game that's sealed, and I just didn't want to open it because I paid 50 cents for it at a Goodwill. Though I don't think it'll be an expensive game. I just think it's really cool to have a sealed GameCube game, so I keep all the GameCube games that I have that are sealed, I'm going to keep sealed. So Darkened Sky, the game is in really good shape. I got this from a online vendor, and it was, let's see what the name of this vendor is, Rock 30 Games. They did really good. These discs are resurfaced and they look like they're in great shape. And it's really weird. I can see the resurfacing residue around here, but it's not actually seeped into the center clear ring of the disc, which is very odd because I usually see that all the time in resurfacing. Especially at the store that I work at. I mean, it still does a great job, but it's pretty interesting. I wonder how they managed to resurface them without getting that residue in there. But I picked that up because it's actually an RPG platformer based on Skittles. Skittles, you heard that right. That game is supposed to be god-awful, like one of the worst games ever made. But again, I like playing bad games, so I figured I'd go ahead and pick it up. The next thing that I picked up is actually not a game, it is a system, and that is a Nintendo DS Lite. And I own a DS Lite, I actually own 4 of them now. But I purchased this because it is just in immaculate shape. I got it from my work. It's not very expensive. These systems just are not expensive right now. So I went ahead and picked it up. It's the white color, and it is in beautiful shape. I mean, it is one of the cleanest DSs I have seen in a very long time. That thing just looks beautiful bouncing off the camera. But yeah, I picked that up because it's really clean, and honestly my first DS was a DSi, and I enjoyed that system, but I personally really prefer the DS Lites now that I've played them. Mainly because you can play Game Boy Advance games on there, and I just kind of prefer the feel of the system. It has a more rounded feel rather than the sharp corners, and it's complete in the box, so it's really cool. I can just like kind of put that up anywhere I like. I'm going to take that off of there before I cause an avalanche. I'm just going to kind of set that right there. But I bought that. I thought that was really cool. Another game that I picked up that's just a quick filler game is Skyliners Imaginators. Never going to play it. I just needed this to complete the Wii U collection. I am now 6 games away from completing the entire Wii U collection, so why not? The only games that I currently need, I think one of them's, the only heavy hitters I need are like Devil's Third, and I haven't picked up Hello Kitty Cruisers for some reason, but I need to pick that up, as well as Tokyo Mirage Session. But those are the most expensive games that I still need to pick up. But I picked that up just because it's a filler. It'll get me closer to a complete collection. Next game that I picked up was a PS3 game, and it was Brothers in Arms Hell's Highway. This is a really cool shooter. It's by Gearbox, and it'll be really cool if at the end of this month we get an announcement for another Brothers in Arms. It looks like Gearbox has been kind of hinting at that with some of their Twitter posts, along with like Bulletstorm and Borderlands 3. It would really be cool to see a new Brothers in Arms game. I think the last one that we had was that one that was supposed to be, or the one that was shown and then never released, it was one about like 4 soldiers or something like that. Had a really cool cinematic trailer, but we never even saw gameplay of it. I wanted to play that game, but we just never got it. But yeah, I figured I'd pick that up. I like some war shooters, so I figured why not pick that up. Another game that I picked up just as a little filler because I do like zombies on Call of Duty was Black Ops. I'm not going to explain Call of Duty to you guys. I'm sure you all know what this is. I just kind of enjoyed this game because of the setting, and I played Ascension on zombies all the time. Next game was another PS3 game, and that is House of the Dead Overkill Edition. Now this is the extended cut version, and this was a Wii game that was then brought over with a lot more, apparently a longer story, new weapons, online leaderboards, and it looks like it could be a lot of fun. I don't know if many of you guys know, but this game is actually the game that is lauded for the most cuss words that have ever been in a video game. So I just needed to get this because I've played this one game that's called Rogue Warrior, and if this has more cuss words than Rogue Warrior, my God, that'll be insane. It'll be very hard to edit a video if I end up making a review for this game, but it's very possible. So the stack is getting pretty tall now. Well, we are nearing the end of the pickups that I've done. I have some larger items that I will be showing here at the very end. But the next Switch game that I picked up, which just came out yesterday, is Fate Extella Link. So this is a game that I have been checking out. I'm actually getting ready to do the review for it right now. I'm finishing writing it up. But this is a really, really cool game. These are kind of Warriors-esque games. They're Muso-style games. And it's a lot of fun. It kind of has this relationship mechanic. And the Fate series has a lot of very, very, very deep lore, and I have not gotten super into a lot of the anime. Not that they're not good, I just haven't taken the time to watch them. But I picked this game up, and it's been a lot of fun. I'm pretty close to the end of it, I think. I got the physical copy yesterday, but I've had the digital one for a little while. But yeah, I think it's really cool. And this game is selling out everywhere right now, I noticed. I don't know if they just made less physical copies this time than they did of the Umbral Star, the past release before this one on the Switch. But it is just not, it is nowhere right now. It is selling out everywhere. So you may want to check that game out if you're into Muso games. Next game I picked up was a Wii game, and that is Sonic and the Black Knight. So this is a cool little Wii game that I was actually about to buy a second copy of this game last night. But I actually came home and I found out that I have this game. And it's really, apparently not good. I hear it's terrible, but it's a odd little Wii game, and I just bought it just because, why not? It's Sonic, I like Sonic games. I even give the terrible ones a shot, so I figured I would go ahead and pick that game up. So, last two standard PS3 games that we have is Battlefield 2, which I don't need to explain this one to you. I mean, it's a pretty cool series. It's a very popular series now. But this is the Bad Company games. These are just known for having a really goofy story and insanely destructible environments. So, I purchased this. It's like $1 or $2, and it is what it is. Super cheap game. Just wanted to pick it up because I enjoyed that game once upon a time. Next game is Warriors Legends of Troy. Now this is more than likely going to be another Muso style game. It looks like it on the back, and it's done by Koei Tecmo. So I'm gonna assume that it is a Warrior style game, especially with the little line up here, Warriors Legends of Troy. But it looks like it could be pretty cool. I picked it up because I haven't seen it very often, and it came into the store, and I figured, why not? It is it seems like it could be okay. If it's really good, that'll be a nice surprise. It was like $3. So we're down to the last 4 items of the video. And the next one is actually one that I already own 2 of. I picked up a third one because I I have this fear as a collector that some of these things will be like hard to get. Now, granted, this is probably not one of those things, but it looks really good on a shelf side, and it's pretty cheap. I found this at a pawn shop for like $10, so I figured why not. This is a Hollow Knight, and this is the Night Plush edition, I guess is what you would call it. But it's supposed to include a digital code for the game. Obviously, it did not come with that. It already got used. It's supposed to be on the receipt. You can only buy this from Best Buy. But I thought it was really cool. It looks really cool on a shelf. This one's a little more tilted than the rest of my other ones. But if you guys haven't played Hollow Knight, amazing, amazing game. They just announced a sequel to the game, and this game is gorgeous, and oh god, love this game, guys. Yeah, if you like Metroidvanias that are really cool hack and slashes, they have an amazing little art style, check this game out. It's all frame by frame, hand-drawn animation, and it's really, really cool. So I picked that game up because I really like that game. And I have this fear that that may at some point be a little difficult to come by. So yeah, let me go ahead and pull up the other two. I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to put those. I'll probably scoot over a little bit and put those there. But the next game that I picked up was Steins Gate Elite, the Collector's Edition. This is a pretty neat little game. I have been playing it. I've already beaten it. It has a neat little story. I don't want to go into the story too much because it will ruin a lot of the story if I even get into it. There's a lot of sensitive content here, but it is like an anime-style visual novel game. It has fully animated scenes as you go along and you play, and it takes the immersion of a visual novel to a whole new level, because instead of just getting these frame-by-frame manga-style segments, these are fully animated. Like, you get voice acting, you get the text, you get like live animation, just really cool scenes. A very deep story that delves into a lot of changes between like the past and future, and it's really cool. I really dig the idea of the game. The source material is really neat. I want to watch the anime now because I recently found out it actually has a legitimate anime. But yeah, so that is another game that I picked up. These next two are actually limited run ones that I'm actually going to be doing unboxings of, and I'll be filming those later today. They'll probably be up tomorrow. But I picked up the Outlast 1 and 2 Collector's Edition, and this is really cool because it comes inside of this leather box, or it's like a faux leather box, but it's really neat. I wanted to pick it up because there's not very many of these made. I don't exactly know how many were made, but I wanted to say it was like 500 or 1,000, something like that. But it's really neat, and I think it'll be a really nice unboxing. I've already taken all the wrapping off of everything that's inside and outside, so I have an idea of everything that is there, but I did that just for the sake of doing the unboxing video to make everything go smooth. Because I tried to film it the first time and I totally forgot a knife. So, those are some really cool horror games that look amazing on the Switch. If you haven't checked those out and you really like horror games, that is an amazing little game. Or, amazing 3 games, technically, because there's a standalone DLC called The Whistleblower. The next game is a really, really, really cool little game that is a golfing RPG, I guess is the best way to describe it, and that is Golf Story. This is the collector's edition of Golf Story by Limited Run Games. It has this really neat little trophy that's windowed through the front right there, and then a golf ball showing through the lid right there. And it's really cool. I love this box. I think it's amazing. The only thing I have a little issue with is the fact that if you see that there, the box kind of bows on the top, and it's not something I've gotten to go down. And it's really weird, but other than that, I love the packaging for this. It's going to look amazing on my shelf. And this game is a lot of fun, guys. A lot of fun. And I love the gameplay. You pretty much play a guy that goes to this large set of golfing ranges and solves all these puzzles, and inside of this golf course, you have like different dictator figures that you find out are like up to no good, and you just go through and you win golfing championships and uncover mysteries that are within each one of these sets of golf courses. And it's a lot of fun. If you never played it, definitely check it out. It's really, really cool and gorgeous, vibrant art style. But that is pretty much everything. That is everything that I have currently picked up this month, that I remember that I picked up this month. Yeah, so that is a little over 50 games. I think it's around 53, 54. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I love picking up games because I love video games. Clearly, which is why I have this channel. I'm really inspired by the Switch, obviously, for collecting. I have a god-awful amount of Switch games. I'm going to be delving into my Switch video game collection here soon, doing a presentation of all my Nintendo Switch games. But yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what games you've picked up recently. If you've played any of these games that I've mentioned here, let me know what you personally thought about them. I love reading you guys' comments down below, and the more that I have to read, the merrier. I love doing those, and I will respond to each and every single one of them if I can. And yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will catch you on the next Switch Report. Alrighty, see you next time. Hey there everyone, thank you so very much for tuning into this video. Sorry it was way longer than usual, and it was way longer than I intended it to be, but there was a lot of games to go over. But I really hope you enjoyed this content, and if you want to see more of it, go ahead and click either of these videos to see one of my reviews. I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you guys have been playing, and let me know if you've played any of these games that have been inside of this video and what you thought about them. Alrighty guys, well I'll catch you next time, and you have a good one.